So it's finally here, round 11 at Brands Hatch, the last round of the season and the BSB Showdown. Just love coming here in October, and the weather's okay. The sun is shining. It's still a bit chilly, so we need jackets, but it's looking okay for the weekend as well. Maybe a sprinkle in the rain for tomorrow, but cannot wait to get things going. Let's do our Friday pit walk, and there's plenty of news to get through. NP Kawasaki have made a change for the last round of the season. Connor Rossi-Thompson comes in to have a little splash out on the Quacker before the end of the season to see how he can get on. Now, we know at Team IWR that James Westmoreland came in at the last round at Donington, and he continues here this weekend as well. The vastly experienced rider, going to see if he can pick up a few points. This weekend, of course, we do clash with World Superbikes, so pay attention to this, and at the end, I'll keep you in the loop in terms of when we're on air over the weekend so you can watch the Showdown, because this one's going all the way down to Sunday. We know that already because the points just 4 in it between Kyle Ryde and Tommy Bridewell. Luke Hedger here, number 23, has had a decent season with Rapid CDH Racing, so I'm sure he'd like to get himself out with a bang. We know Lewis Rollo's had a tremendous season. No one expected him at the start of the year to be on the podium, and to be honest with you, he nearly got on it twice. Let's not forget at Alton Park, he was 5th there as well. As we understand it, Lewis Rollo keeps hold of his seat for next year. Now, the garage doors are closed here at TAG Honda. That's for good reason. Fraser Rogers, but we know that he's had problems with his 2 broken legs. They're not knitted together. It was a big risk. The doctors said, don't race. He tried, but he's decided he's taken the right option. He's sitting out this one. And Jamie van Sikelris had gone out in free practice here today, but only did a few laps. I suspect the reason the garage doors are shut is that they've said, you know what, enough is enough. Let's just try and rest up in the winter and come out fighting next year. Now, remember, on Fridays, the top 12 in the combined sessions go straight through to Q2. So we'll try and keep you on track with that as well. Braden Elliott about to go through his last weekend of racing with the Dow Racing Kawasaki team. On the other side of the garage, I don't know if the bike's missing, but it's okay. Oh, there we are. It's all good news here for someone in the team. Danny Buchan actually had a really good run out. He's back from injury, and for some reason the garage door's shut. Maybe he just doesn't like us, don't want to talk to us, but he's up inside that top 12, so that's good news. Continuing on from those who are recovering from injury, Rory Skinner, of course, was back at the last round at Donington Park and looked all right there. Just missed out on a place inside the top 12, but it's all about just building up speed. The last thing that Rory's going to want to do is end the season on a low. He's been so bashed about this year. He's been through a lot of pain, and let's just hope he has a good solid weekend here. I'd say a couple of top 10s this weekend and he'd be pretty happy with that. Billy McConnell always had a great record here, of course, at Brands Hatch, but was involved in that horrible spill last time out at Donington Park. I don't know if he's feeling the ill effects of that or not, but all round, I think a really solid season back in BSB for Billy. I really hope that he's back on the grid next year. He certainly deserves to be. Storm Stacey, who is over there, just about managing to have a smile there. He was fastest in FP1 this morning. There were a few damp patches there, but he's given himself a bit of work to do. Tomorrow has Storm, because he's got to go through Q1. He only just missed out on the top 12, and it was close earlier on as well. I understand Storm has been knocking on just about every door in terms of trying to get a ride for next year. No bike at the moment here for Brad Peary. Not sure why that is. So we'll have to try and find out to make sure Bradley Peary is okay. He was in the points last time out at Donington Park. Right. On to FHA Racing BMW. We've got good news. Both riders are up inside the top 12. Josh Brookes actually just outside that top 3 in FP2 overall. Let me just see if I can steal a word with Josh just for a quick second. Sorry, Mark, I'm peeling him away. Josh, I wanted to catch up with you. We've barely spoken too much at the end of a Friday so far this year. Not to so much talk about the season gone by, because there have been some good results. The 4th at Alton, you're on the front row as well. But a lot of fans are seeing that all the gossip about you next year. I'm not going to try and pry you. I don't know what you can and can't say. But in general, how are you feeling? And are you going to be back on the grid next year with us?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Obviously, the focus for me right now is still the job to do here in FHO and BMW. I'm not at liberty to say exactly what I'm doing next year. I wait for the people that control the press releases and manage those situations best, but I can confirm I'll be on the grid in British Superbikes for 2025. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to do the best I can on a track that I love so much. We've got the sunshine, and we've got the opportunity to try and do fast laps again like usual, so I'm just trying to do the best I can.
We can tell just from that you've still got the hunger and the desire, and there have been some positive signs of late, so you must be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a double-edged sword. I'm really disappointed with the lack of improvements we've made this year. I'm like this eternal optimist. I always come every weekend thinking, oh, but this is the weekend we're going to turn it around. This is when it's going to come good for us. And we have made some improvements with the package, and the recent rounds have shown those improvements. I've tried to refrain from shouting to the public how the changes are coming and that we've improved the bike, because it gives people false hope if you don't produce the results. So we have made changes and we have made improvements, and the results have come, but just smaller than I was anticipating, and not what the team and the sponsors and everybody supporting us was hoping for.
Josh, you've done it in 5-year cycles so far, 2015, 2020, 2025, could be your year?
I certainly hope so. It would match the racing number that I've always raced under, 2020 for 25. So yeah, fingers crossed everything goes well for us next year.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for Josh there. I thought it was important to get a word with Josh, two-time champion. It just hasn't quite been their year in FHO racing so far this year. There have been some signs of encouragement also for Hickey of late. The results are coming there, and he's starting to get inside that top 12 on a more regular basis on a Friday. But obviously, BMW just haven't had the season that they wanted. Just a one win all year for BMW, and that came for Rory Skinner back at Knockhill, of course. No bike in the garage at the moment for Max Cook, of course. Big disappointment for FS3 Kawasaki this weekend, and for BSB in general, that Jason O'Halloran can't sign off with a swan song at Brands Hatch. Unfortunately, the Australian getting that injury at Donington Park, and he can't be here. And I know he would have so loved to have said goodbye to the BSB fans. He's not made an announcement on his future yet, but I'm sure that'll come soon. Max Cook, on the other hand, for a while there in FP2, topped that session, and he goes straight through to Q2. So that's really, really good news. Leon Haslam looking a bit of cutting a frustrating figure perhaps just down in the garage at the moment. Leon, of course, with lots of success here at Brands, but he's going to have to go through Q1 tomorrow. Just had so much bad luck this year in 2024. We're hearing that there's nothing concrete for Leon for next year yet. Is this going to be his last outing at Brands Hatch in BSB? If it is, make sure you get yourself in the grandstands and watching at home on TV this weekend. It's been a really solid second half of the season, it has to be said, for the Hawk Racing team. Lee Jackson's had himself a bundle of podiums towards the end of the year. Charlie Nesbitt had a couple of really strong rounds to end this season as well. They'll be looking to go out on a high, both riders through to Q2 comfortably for tomorrow's session. There's a change, of course, this weekend as well. We mentioned that there's no Jason O'Halloran. There's also no Christian Idden here this weekend. He's was, of course, injured in that horrible accident at Donington Park as well. But the Oxford Products Racing Motor Rapido team have brought in a familiar face to ride this weekend, Spanish rider Xavi Forés, who won the AMA Supersport Championship, I believe, I hope I've got that right, last year. So Xavi Forés has come out for a play to end the season with. And now we're getting to the end of pit lane, where all of the talk is about. Now, Danny Kent, McCam's Yamaha rider, 100th BSB race coming up for him tomorrow. Can he finally get his hands on that race win? I'm whispering that because he won't want me to jinx him. So fingers crossed for Danny. There'll be so many people happy to see him pick it up, and you wouldn't rule him out. This is the Honda Supersport Garage, of course. Big weekend for them as they look to try and tie up the British Supersport Championship. And now we get to the business end. Guess who was the top three at the end of today? Yes, Glenn Irwin, Kyle Ryde and Tommy Bridewell. The three men fighting for the championship are all there. Yeah, let's see if we just put a quick word with Tommy here just before he continues his chats here with all the team personnel. It's been a brilliant season, Tommy.
Hello,
and it's come down to this, Brands Hatch. You've been here before. You've got fond memories of it, and doesn't look like there's a lot splitting you three at the end of day one.
No, it's not my first rodeo, is it? No, it's like, do you know what, Alarm? Noisy sod. Yeah, I was saying then over course commentary, I didn't feel very good on the bike this morning. Felt really, really bad, and couldn't get a handle on it. And yeah, it was a bit of a head scratcher. So fair play to the team. We did an engine swap between FP1 and FP2, and we've been wanting to go in a different direction with a bike, but because of limited track time, we haven't had time. And I said to the team then, do you know what? I know it sounds mad, we're here and we're fighting for a championship, but I want to try it. If I hadn't have tried it in FP2, then we probably wouldn't have got a chance, and I'm so glad I did, because then I could ride the bike so much easier, so much more control and enjoyable, if I'm honest. So yeah, felt really good then. Felt really good. I'm not the master of one lap screen biting. I don't need to be, do I? As long as I'm always roundabout and I'm happy with my pace, then I always know my race pace is normally a lot stronger. And I think I did like 20, just over 20 laps on the first set of tyres, and my lap time was still really good. So yeah, looking positive for the tomorrow and the other 2 races.
The very best of luck to you this weekend, Tommy.
Thank you ever so much. Cheers, guys.
We're not going to bother him too much, but Tommy Bridewell then looking for back-to-back championships here for the 2024 season, as we are now going to just walk past. No, that's okay, Dunk's on live circuit commentary at the moment, so we won't bother him either. On the other side of the garage, Andy Irwin was, of course, hovering around that podium all weekend at Donington. He was just outside the top 3 today. He goes straight through into Q2. There were some issues mechanically, I think, for Ryan Vickers towards the back end of that free practice session. Because he didn't go out and he faced a bit of an anxious wait. He's just stayed inside the top 12 overall. Of course, let's not forget last time we were here, he was so dominant here at Brands Hatch. He was unstoppable. So he'll be relieved to get through to Q2. Kyle Ryde, let's get Kyle over quickly. What a weekend it's going to be for him. What a couple of months it's been for Kyle Ryde, the championship leader coming into the final round of BSB. That sounds all right, doesn't it, Kyle? And that looked like a pretty good, solid first day at the office.
Yeah, the biggest thing I've been thinking about all week is have a good Friday, and yeah, we've done that, so I'm happy. Sun's been out all day, weather looks good for the weekend as well, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ever had so many interviews leading into a weekend? And I mean, I know that everyone's got to go through all of these obligations with the media, but you must be loving it. You're riding still so well.
Yes, I don't mind doing the interviews. Obviously, I take the positives from it, and if I'm doing interviews, I'm doing a good job on the track. So yeah, as much as a pain they are sometimes, I enjoy doing them, and yeah, I've had a lot of nice feedback from a lot of people, all fans. So yeah, I'll keep doing the interviews.
Lastly, Kyle, it's all there, isn't it? The 3 of you are all at the top here at the end of day 1. It's neatly poised.
Yeah, I mean, after FP1, it didn't look like me, Glenn and Tommy would be top 3, but as the things in your head make you realise you've got to try and win a championship, we've obviously dug deep there, and all 3 of us are at the top again. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting next couple of days.
Kyle, the very best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
There we are then, Kyle Ryde, the championship leader, 4 points up overall on Tommy Bridewell. There's one man that we must not discount, of course. Now, he has the most to do in terms of trying to wrestle the championship, but as we saw at Donington Park, if you ever discount Glenn Irwin, then you were a fool, because he'll come out and prove you wrong. Let's see if he's around. It doesn't look like he is at the moment, but that's okay. What I can tell you is that when Glenn went out in that free practice 2 session, he looked so determined, and he went wallop with the fastest lap to end day 1, just to remind everyone how fast he can go. Let's not forget last year's Showdown that was won by half a point featured 3 men. Tommy Bridewell, Glenn Irwin and Kyle Ryde, and they're all going out to dance again here this weekend, and this is how you can watch it. We are live on Eurosport 2 on Saturday and Sunday at 11:30. Now remember, we do have a clash with World Superbikes as well, so you're going to have to really pay attention. 11:30 AM, Saturday and Sunday, Eurosport 2. We'll then come off air and come back again for 3 PM through to 5:30 on both days. You can watch it all on the Discovery Plus app and not really miss a lap. That's probably your better option. But keep an eye on all of our socials over the weekend for Eurosport socials and particularly official BSB socials, so you can watch the Showdown. Who is going to be crowned the 2024 champion? We're about to find out.